How's it going? You know, I was just doing my usual chit chat to the masses while I wait
Felt
for
like I
you
was there
awkwardly.
ages and it just wasn't letting us like request to join.
Yeah, and then I clicked accept and nothing happened. And then I had to go back in and it was still there. And I was like, pretty sure I clicked.
Guys, we've got some cracking questions.
Nice, love it.
Should we
Love
dive
it, love it,
straight
love
in
it.
with the first one?
Do it.
So, I've got embarrassingly, I've got them written on look, a little piece of cardboard. I just scribbled them out in my DMs. Okay, first one. I really want to make some changes this year, but I don't feel like I can do both fitness and nutrition at the same time right now. Which one should I do first?
That's a great question and probably something a lot of people struggle with. I think rather than saying which should I go with first, just pick one small action in each because you do need both. You can't out-train a bad diet and you can't eat yourself. You can eat your way to health, but you can't eat your way to fitness and such. So like, rather than thinking like fitness is this massive mountain and nutrition is this massive mountain, just think, right, I'm going to put my shoes on for the mountain hike on both. Put your shoes on for a few weeks and then you're like, right, I'll take the first step on the very bottom of the hike. Then a few weeks later, right, you start climbing the mountain. Then you don't have to do one or the other. I would highly recommend just pick one small action in each, and momentum will take over. Habits will be established, and they will work together and complement each other along the way. That would be my answer.
I think I would definitely agree with what you said. If somebody had a gun to my head, I have to pick one. I think I would go exercise. Because, I mean, this person hasn't said what their goal is, but I just know that exercise will always make you feel better from the very first time you do it. So if you want like more instant gratification, which would therefore give you potentially more motivation to keep going, I think you'll get that sooner from exercise. But I totally agree with what you said. Pick one thing from each and flip and go for it.
That's a great example. Like if you can say, right, Kez, go to the gym and you'll get your endorphins instantly, or eat a salad. I'm not going to enjoy that. That'll be hard, but I'll enjoy it. I'll get the release instantly. So that's I like what you said. And I think as well then context, like if you're training really hard and you're getting those health benefits, but then you're eating shit that is just so bad for your heart, your head, your brain, like your body. I'd love to know what that person is currently doing. Because maybe the diet is not that bad, or maybe the exercise is at an okay level, like which is kind of more detrimental right now. Let's spend more time bringing that up to the level of the other one. I like the gun to the head. You're gonna get pleasure when then after a few days of eating healthy, you'll start to feel good, but it doesn't hit instantly.
Conversation with one of my online coaching clients just this week, and they were saying, and I have heard this many times over the years, but they were saying that when they exercise, it makes them automatically want to make better food choices. Like if they train, they want to eat better. But I'm not sure if the same happens the other way. I do, and it would be interesting to know from anyone who watches this what their thought and opinion is. But I've heard that so many times. When I train, I want to eat better. So, yeah.
Do you know what? You just thought in my mind. You said you wonder if it is the other way. I feel like the other way, and this is not anything I know me or you agree with, is like the opposite. People only train when they've eaten terrible because it's like a punishment. So, if you eat healthy, I don't know if you'd be inspired to go to the gym. If you eat a pile of crap, you're like, I better go pay for my sins, which is never the case. But if you train, you're going to be like, right, I want to keep this feeling going. That's great. Yeah, good point.
I was just about to say exercise number 2. Question 2. I was in full training mode there. Exercise number 2 is okay. Second question. I've been cutting out bread and crisps in brackets my weaknesses since the start of January, but I just keep on binging. I end up going back to binging. How do I stop? For me, I think the answer in that, and I'm gonna assume that there's no like historical negative relationships with food here. I'm just going to assume somebody is just doing this in January. So my answer would be the reason that's happening, you're cutting things out and then you end up binging on it anyway, is because you've cut it out. Like, there's nothing that really needs to be cut out. Like, there should be no such thing as good and bad. We've got all these different foods that we can eat. We should eat more of some foods than we do of others for health reasons, but nothing has to be off the menu.
Fully agree with that. It takes a very, very special person, and it must be like, I wouldn't recommend it, but if that person is able to live a happy life with it, like, I can't cut out things, because then I get into that. Now that I'm never having it again, it's all I want. Like you said, we've said this many times as well, like, there's no good or bad foods, it's just good or bad portions of it. You could lose weight eating 4 slices of bread a day. You're going to lose a lot of weight. It's a miserable diet to be on, but like, bread's not the enemy. It's how you're eating it with the rest of the food you're eating. It's not the enemy at all. It's the calories being over where you need them to be is the enemy. But with that, like, because I do struggle with that, but I also, like, I train a lot and I'm famished, so like, I'm like, I'm just gonna like tear into this. But what works for me is like not banning it, and like strategically putting it in, like Wednesday and Friday and maybe Sunday. Like, chocolate is my absolute kryptonite, right? I know I'm allowed it on those days, but I'm allowed it, like, let's say it's 1 bar or 2 squares. It's not a free-for-all, because when it's a free-for-all, it tastes too good to stop. So it's like, right. And then you just have to parent yourself. I'm allowed to eat it those days. Those days when I eat it, no, I don't get to eat 10 bars. Like, if I want it, those are the rules. I can have it if I have it in this portion. And it just takes a little bit of willpower and self-control to not, like, fuck it, I'll have the whole bag, like, you know. So that's all it is. Don't ban it, because then, like you said, you'll end up binging it, which I've tried before and never works for me. When I allow it, then some days when I'm allowed it, I'm like, I actually don't want it today, because I know it's not off the cards forever. I'm like, I'll have it tomorrow. Like, so, and then once you get in a routine of like, I'm satisfied with this square, not these squares. You know, you'll get into that groove of like, that's enough. But when you ban it and then you see it,
the trick is never not to ban it, because it's human nature. If somebody tells you, like, as a kid, even if someone says, like, you can't have that, all you want to do. So just to whoever sent the question, don't try to cut it out completely. Just try and reduce it for sure.
If it's a weakness, like, cutting back, I do recommend, if you know that right now, like, your portions are too high or it triggers a certain behavior, definitely try to cut it back. But don't cut it out.
If there's a little bit of something around, like the language used there, like, it's my weakness. Like, saying it's my weakness, it's just actually, it's something I really like. And if you say it like that, I really like, what was it, bread and crisps, and then it sounds different. Oh, that's my weakness. And then it's like that feeling of guilt, and it's bad and it's negative. But I really like that. I know it's not potentially the best thing that I should be making up most of my diet, but I really like it. So I am going to have it. It's a lot different, weakness, guilt, bad, and all of that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Now that is true, yeah, like how you frame it is huge.
It doesn't have to have negative words. It's only positive vibes only.
That stuff though, like that is, you're dead on with
Are you
that,
ready for question number 3? Okay.
I'm ready for exercise 3.
3 is okay, third question. My goal is to lose body fat. How many times a week should I be working out? Big question.
Short answer.
I don't think there is a short answer to this question. I think it's just a novel, because it's a snowboard.
Yeah. Right, simple step. A simple step, not the first step, just a simple step. How much time in your week do you A, want to, and B, actually have? And then also some people think like, right, this is my goal, but right, here's the trade-offs. Up earlier, home later, not out every night with, like, give up this social activity, which could be like happy hour with your mates. What's your trade-offs? Are you willing to get up earlier? No? All right, then. Like, if that's you want to do this in, again, you shouldn't really put a short window on this, but like if you want to do this in 2-3 months, you're going to have to get up at this time or stay late at this time. If you're not willing to do that, your goal is just not, it's not a negative thing. It's just going to be further away. So be realistic. If you're not trading time, you're not going to see these results in a month. So figure out how committed you are. And then whether it takes 1 month or a year, that's totally fine. That time is going to pass either way. And most people are in a rush. They're always in a rush with fat loss, but like it didn't kind of happen in a month, it happened from a long period of bad habits, we'll say. So it's going to take a little bit of time to reestablish better habits. So figure out what you're willing to commit, and then it's like it's not always about the gym. It's largely about what you're eating in the kitchen.
And also, what it's not always a frequency, but also about what you do when you get there. How effective are you? How much energy are you bringing at every workout? I'm just noting there's a little question there for Michael as well. I've got this. Hi, Michael. Yeah. Train for composition and keeping as much as possible. Find something. Yeah, we say that all the time. Find something that you enjoy, because if you enjoy it, you're much more likely to stick with it. I think that's probably like baseline advice. But once you do find something, or even if you haven't quite found you something yet, be effective when you get there. But even if you've only got 20 minutes 3 times a week, like ideally you would have a bit more than that. But if that is all you've got, like just really show up to that 20 minutes. Just give it a thought.
Yeah.
Don't go on your phone. I watched someone in the gym yesterday have minimum a 3-minute rest between sets, between machine chest press. Like that's the polar opposite of what I'm talking about showing up. Like just get there, go for it, challenge yourself. You'll feel better at the end. You will feel better at the end of the 20 minutes of giving it all your energy than you will from 60 minutes of being on your phone in every rest period. So to the person that asked this question, like even if you haven't got much time, listen to Kez, find out what you have, and then like dive in and give it. Michael, I love it. Michael's saying get some supersets in. Totally agree. Super time efficient way of training. Trisets, so supersets being 2 exercises back to back, trisets being 3, giant sets being 4 or more, or a circuit with minimal rest periods. Just make the most of it.
I just thought of the best answer for this question. People that typically, this is not a judgment, people that typically ask this question need to hire a trainer, because the fact you say, how many days a week do I need to show up to the gym to lose weight, is like, again, not a judgment, shows where your knowledge is at. It's not about if you go and clock 4 hours a week. Like, that's, you can clock 4 fucking stupid hours a week, you know, and then eat like an asshole. So again, not a judgment at all. But if that is your question, then there's that's kind of where your training and your fitness knowledge is at, right? I would invest in a trainer to teach you how to be effective with the time that you have, teach you how to eat with the kind of rules you want to set yourself. Because like, if I right now wasn't happy with where I was at, I'd probably go to you or another trainer friend and be like, you know what, like, I'm eating this, these are how my workouts look at, like, and you'd kind of give me a nudge. But like, if I'm like, I want to lose weight, how many days do I need to show up? It's like, well, that is not that. There's like a bigger issue.
Yeah,
like, you know what I mean?
And if you invest a little bit of like time and money with a trainer, you're gonna learn stuff. Just gonna put you in a better position, even if it's just short term. Even if you spend like 4 to 6 weeks with a trainer just to like grasp some of the basics. I think just like quite clearly pinpoint where you're at on like learning stuff, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with being at the start, for sure.
And that's it, because when you're at the start, and like we always laugh because we're, you know, not in a bad way, but it's like asking what's the meaning of life. It's like, well, let's sit down and like, there's no short answer to like, how do I get fit? It's so like, it's such a broad question, so that when that question comes in, and like I said, we all started here, no one was born and knew how to eat and train, but when you start and you Google it, there's so much noise and so much experts that are like, my diet's the best, and like, there's great people online, but a lot of them are drowned out by like, buy this piece of equipment, 2 hours a day, you'll have abs in 5 minutes. Like, and why would you not trust that? Because they're appearing to be an expert in their field. So like, there is so much noise, and you're trying to just get on the ladder of knowledge. So do yourself a favor and hire an expert. You might hire someone that's, you know, you'll learn a few lessons by hiring someone that's full of shit, but like, find someone that's got a reputation. Because like us saying things like, oh yeah, 20-minute supersets, breaks between sets, they're like, mind is blown by what all that means. They were just thinking, how many days do I need to drive down there and walk in that building, like, you know. So yeah, that's probably the best answer, is spend money and hire someone.
Yeah. Oh, Michael, I'm loving it. I'm loving this interaction. Mind muscle connecting effectively is not. Yeah, that's a really good point. Like that, and that is something you'll learn with a good trainer. That, yeah, it's like, about doing things with intention. Like, why are we doing this? What should I be thinking about while I'm doing it? What muscle groups are we working? Why is this going to benefit me? When you start to know the answer to those questions, like, that's a superpower.
Yeah. And again, someone that is like, right, I need to get fit, I'm going to walk in this gym first time ever. And you see it, and again, it's not criticism. It's like, man, like you can help them so much, but like that there's time and investment with that. But like, see people doing bicep curls, they're standing limp, and that, like, it's like, there's, like Michael said, there's just no like mind engagement connection there. So yeah, there's positive steps there. They're trying, but like I would love to help those people more, because they've got the mindset of, I want to be better. I want to do better for myself health wise. But then like there's like so many little tweaks that you just learn by hanging around the gym a long time, you know.
If you're going to show up to the gym, you might as well make the most of it. And you will do that by like a level of investment. Yeah. Right, my friend, that's our night, or this morning in your case.
This lovely sunny Sunday.
It's absolutely freezing here. Absolutely.
Although I had to wear this on my walk because my ears were a little bit cold. So sorry.
But if you're watching this live or you watch it back and you sent a question in, thank you for everyone that commented, watched. Stay tuned over the next week or so, maybe week and a half, because we've got maybe it's a little bit longer. Cheers, Michael. Because you've got to know, Michael is a legend. Like, Michael trained with me for years, and he's actually one of the nicest dudes I know. And somebody who really brings his A game every session. So thank you for the interaction on that, Michael. Mint.
Trying to find how I can like it, but I can't. But I'll like it like this.
So stay tuned, because me and Kez have got something exciting coming up in terms of a programme. So keep looking out for that, and we'll see you for another little live Q&A soon as well.
Yes.
All right then.
February.
See you later. Bye.